Jealousy. It's a mindless emotional parasite. It snakes and slithers around traces of unhappiness. It sniffs and scents for bits of unsatisfaction. And in your moment of weakness, it pounces, digging up bits of unrequited affection, shoving in your face memories of unreconcilable ex-lovers, burying you deep in a grave of envy until you are green. Insecurity. It's a virus, a venomous parasitic virus, like a leech. It squeezes, sucks every amount of reasoning in you, whatever sanity you have left, it takes as well. It's selfish, this one, and it doesn't stop until you're dry, empty, vulnerable enough to be overtaken by paranoia. You never see him coming. Never hear his devious steps as he crawls in and overtakes your mind. Painting pictures that never materialize, asking questions that should not matter, building assumptions out of molehills. Paranoia has no mercy. He isolates your mind from your body, you from your family. He fills every inch of you completely. He tears you apart, and then he kills you. Slowly, he killed me. Slowly. I used to have something. What could possibly have been the best ever, and then by giving into mindless torture, I lost it. It was a journey. We were taking gradual steps. There was attraction, affection, a clear stipulation that I was wanted, and then there was me, my cynicism, my refusal to believe that I could ever be wanted. I had prerequisites that were promptly accepted, but it was not enough to allay my worries. I demanded changes. Some were softly made. Still, I refused, and I believed the worst. My folly. Here I was, offering nothing, yet complicit in the belief that he was definitely seeking something. Twice I was asked. Twice I kept silent, once for surety, the other for pure brevity, but only because of my failed past, where rushed yeses turned catastrophic, where misplaced trust became diabolic. You see, I was cynical, but my one aim was to ensure that something new escapes the same mistakes as many things old. But I never said so. And when unsurety became twice as sure, when the thump of my heart had the answer, when my dreams were filled with your faith, when you became twice as precious, when my one and utmost desire, it became clear to me, was to love and be loved, to care, to share, to support, to build together with you. I never said so. I chose instead to lead on question number 3. Isn't 3 just quite a charm? And when I failed to hear your voice, I set my mind ablaze. I unheeded precious moments and I let jealousy lead the way. I let insecurity fester me and paranoia wipe his butt with my fears. And when it was evident I had nothing left to offer, I died. We wanted the same thing, just at totally different times. And if there's one thing I regret, it's not saying yes when I had a chance.